I was dancing and I forgot to put on myself in studio. Hello, my beautiful viewers on E360. How are you doing? How are you feeling? To all my beautiful diamond beauties here and my beautiful Tanzanite heroes, the two amazing groups that I have, one for women and one for gentlemen. How are you feeling? You can ask me, Sanu, and I know you are going to say, are you up to, Saneet? What are you up to? So, our our beautiful title for today is The Art of Becoming. It was actually supposed to be The Art of Belonging, and it became The Art of Becoming. So, do you belong to somebody? Do you belong to a family? Do you belong to a community? Do you belong to a club? I know I have this mini ears on, but it's just to bring this to your attention. For me, the art of belonging is very important. I would love to let everyone know that is in your power to put your heart there, open your heart, and give a person or a group space to get to know the person or the group, and then to feel you belong. Belonging is important because it makes us human. It makes us realize that we are important enough to be part of something. Are you part of something beautiful? Do you belong? My heart is like, for me, on Thursday, I have done 495 coffee chats in 2 years and 8 months. More than 90% of people I've talked to is lonely, and more than 85% doesn't feel they belong to anybody, anything. They don't have the sense of belonging. So for me, today's show is so important. And my guest is all around the world. And they will blow your socks off. Are you ready? I am going to play my beautiful sponsors video, Jose Escobar. If there's 2 or 3 people that would love to sponsor my shows as well, please connect with me. I would really appreciate it. Here we go.
Is Jose Escobar. I live in Washington, D.C. area. I'm a family man. I'm an entrepreneur, coach, author, and speaker. I have communities. I support people. I'm a servant leader, and the list goes on. And I'm primarily the CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. That's my bread and butter. That's my core offer, right? That's where I put most of my time and energy. And the Connected Leaders Academy is a growing community. It's a tribe of some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. We're now over 350 plus members, 42 states across the US, and 17 international countries. If you're an entrepreneur out there that's looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more money, more clients, right? This is the community for you.
Thank you, my beautiful Jose. Let me just see where's Helena. Just give me 1 second. Helena, I'm not sure why is your camera off. I will have a look at it in a moment. Just put your camera off and on again, please, Helena. Oh, Okay, she was working just before the time. So what I am gonna do, I am gonna take Helena off for for a second. I am gonna ask her if she could leave the studio and come in again. I'm not sure why her camera is off, but while we wait for Helena to come back, I am gonna start. My guest is here. My guest is here. I am so excited. My beautiful Chanel, can you please introduce yourself? Thank you.
Well, hello everyone. It is a pleasure to meet with all of you who don't know me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chanel. I am a speaker, author, and trainer. And I love to make people think. So that's a long question. So I'm just going to introduce myself and leave it right there.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, my beautiful Chanel and my beautiful Brian. And you are the only gentleman with our amazing ladies today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Absolutely. It's great to be here today, Sanet. Brian Kent, international best-selling author, international businessman, and a coach and speaker. Happy to be here and look forward to the next hour.
Wow. Thank you so much. My beautiful Maureen, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I am also a Texan, so I'm happy to meet Chanel. So we need to connect up and see how close we are. I am a master self worth life coach, an author, a speaker, and a podcast host. And my whole brand is geared around just following the example of dogs and how they live a life of ease and how we can follow them and have an easier life and stop overthinking. So I can talk more about the puppies in a little bit.
And that's the reason why you are here. You will see all of you are here for a reason. I just quickly want to bring in Elena. Just give me 1 second, please. Elena, you are here. Okay. My beautiful Julie, there's a reason why you are also here today. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. Julie Deanne. Thank you so much, Sanet. I am thrilled to be joining all of you. I am a transformational life dream builder coach, TEDx speaker, an international best-selling author, and also a children's book author. So I've got meditation stuff that I love getting that into school for kids. So blessings, everybody.
Wow. My beautiful Elena, can you introduce yourself, please?
Such a pleasure to be here tonight with all you amazing people. I am a brave heart breakthrough expert, transformational speaker on domestic violence and sexual abuse, and a co-author on a bestseller #1 on Amazon, Breaking the Silence Voice of Survivors. Here to help people overcome their traumas, their deepest fears and limitations, so they can shift from that fear into the reality of their truth and authenticity, reinventing their lives to fulfill their fullest potential.
Wow, I love it. And can you tell the viewers and this amazing panel what happened to you last month on the Diamond Moment magazine?
It was incredible. Such great service, such exposure, meeting amazing people, about at least 12 pages of publicity, and it was an incredible experience. I highly recommend anybody considering, you know, promoting their business, getting more extra exposure with media publicity and visibility and networking to go for it. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
So thank you. Elena was also our first female cover lady. It was truly an
Yes.
honor to have her. I know I was there a few times, but I mean, she was our first beautiful female lady. So we were truly blessed. So my beautiful Chanel, can you tell us what does belonging means for you?
Well, it's funny the way your opening began. So I think I'm just gonna follow. First, when we talk about belonging, what is the definition of belonging? Belonging, according to the dictionary, is to be a member of a club, as you stated. It's fitting in. And then when we talk about community, it's a space in which we encourage one another, in which we hold each other accountable. It's all about, all of us coming together in a environment. But when I think about belonging, it is my belief that experiencing true acceptance and belonging is when you know who you are and when you accept who you are and know the value that you bring when you show up as you. Belonging, I have to say, it does not mean being the same or liking what everyone else likes. Actually, it's the opposite. When you're around people who know who they are and know the value that they bring when they show up as themselves, you it sparks a creativity that allows you to come together, because when you know who you are, the real you brings solutions to problems that you were born to address. The real you speaks to the people that your voice was assigned to speak to. So today's challenge and why I came on is for you to know who you are.
I love it. I love it. Wow. You're going to be an amazing TV host, my girl. Watch my words and watch my words. My beautiful Brian, what does belonging means for you?
Actually, I'll follow the suit with both of you. I think belonging is really understanding who you are, how you're going to be the leader or the mentor or the manager that you should be, and understanding your people and promoting those relationships for growth in your individual goals, growth in your company goals, and growth in your team goals. And I teach that in my coaching, that it's really about the relationship management across all parties to help the whole team rise and the whole team be successful. So I think it's about belonging as being part of that team. And then therefore also too, accepting accountability for that decision. Because one of the key things I say is lack of a decision is a decision, but you delegated it to somebody else to make. So therefore, if you want to belong, you need to make sure you know what decision you want to make.
Ladies? Wow, I love it. I love it. My beautiful Marie, I'm belonging for you.
I'm going to go the opposite direction and I'm going to say what belonging is not. Belonging is not losing who you are and your authenticity to fit in, to fake it till you make it. Belonging is not imposter syndrome. Belonging is, and I say this, family, friends, community, belonging equals loved, and loved equals the longing of validation everyone desires. So, really, when we say we want to belong, we want to be loved. But, and I learned this from the dogs, I learned until I unconditionally loved myself, it didn't matter about in my own heart with my own view of who I was. And so loving self unconditionally first brings belonging, and you stop looking for that validation. And then you know what? You just draw in law of attraction, the people who are your people. So that's my idea of belonging.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And my beautiful Julie, for you.
You know, belonging is truly a feeling. And it's a feeling that we don't get from out there. It comes from within. Just like Maureen and Chanel and Brian and Houston and everybody is saying, you generate it from within. And let me ask you, maybe this resonates with with our audience, with all the panelists. Have you ever been in the middle of a group or a club or something that you quote belonged to, and yet you felt like you didn't belong?
Mhm.
I mean, we've all been there at one time or another, right? And
Yeah.
why is that? And it goes back to how you view yourself. and how you are showing up in that group. Do you see yourself as being worthy, valuable, contributing, connecting, right? Do you feel like you belong? But you have to connect within first. You have to connect to yourself and love yourself, right? And you have to generate that feeling of knowing, you know what? I matter. I am enough and I have something to add to this group. Yes, I belong. I and everybody can do this, right? So that to me is what belonging is truly about. It's about connecting within to yourself, to your own self-worth, self-love, and then sharing that out with the world, and it gets reflected back to you.
I love it. I knew today is going to be an amazing show. I knew. I could not wait. And most of you are on this, knew about this show more than 2 months ago. I cannot wait. Oh, and now it's here. My beautiful Helena. What does belonging means for you?
Well, I would like to speak out and reach out to those that you mentioned who feel lonely and do not belong, because the percentage is really high. We're talking about 85%, as you mentioned, Sanet. And me, as a survivor of a dysfunctional family and childhood, often felt very lonely and that I never belonged. And I know there are many out there who feel that way. And I can relate to that. Having felt those feelings of isolation, and then you have the mental health issues as well. And only, I can honestly say, 2 years ago, I had the honor of becoming part of a group, Woman of Truth. And then this year, so amazingly, connecting with you and your beautiful soul diamond and diamond beauties forever. And having that gift of feeling after most of my life not belonging in my family. And that is really important for child development, the inner child experience that sets the foundation for our self-love, our belonging, our acceptance, our self-esteem. So when there are so many people out there not feeling that they belong and feeling lonely, it helps us to be inspired, as having experienced what we have, to understand the importance of belonging and how we all need, like, a community, a support system, someone we can reach out to that will listen, somewhere we can be ourselves, be accepted, be acknowledged, to truly just take off the mask, sit in the light, be our light, and share and shine that light, where there is just love given and received, no judgment whatsoever. To me, that is belonging.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. I love it. Wow, thank you. Thank you, my beautiful Helena. So I'm going to ask the following question, but I'm going to state the question and then I'm going to quickly do a talk before it will give you a few minutes, Chanel, to get your thoughts ready. So for me, how does a sense of belonging impact your overall well-being and happiness? So I will repeat the question again with each and every one, but I want to say, for me, thinking back in the old stories when they told us that the ladies will go down to the river and then they will have a talk and do the washing and have a sense of community. And then when they get to the main village, they forgot about the trouble with the husband or whatever because they had talked it out. Okay, first of all. Secondly, the man will go on hunting and they will moan about their wives not doing that. And when they come back from the hunting, they forgot about it because they have the ability to share that. So for me, when I asked God for an amazing, beautiful group of ladies, 20th of June, that's my birthday, 2021, I also mentioned, I said, God, I would love to have an amazing group of ladies that can lift each other up in good times and when it's not going so good. And I want us to be like the olden days community, our ladies doing all the washing and talking and sharing our hearts and making our lives a little bit lighter for being able to have somebody to hear you, to see you. So I'm truly blessed for being able to say that the Diamond Beauties is 3 years old, the 1st of August. And that was originally part of my dream. So, Chanel, your question, oh, well, everybody's question, but let me state it again. How does a sense of belonging impact your overall well being and happiness?
Well, I have to tie my sense of belonging when I reflect back on my life experiences. And I believe it is me taking, paying attention to the different cues in life where in community, in churches, in family, I'm constant at work. I'm constantly pulled on. We need you for this. We need you on this committee. We need you. And I'm just in our family and what I'm you just be the answer, be the answer, be the answer. And it comes natural. So when I begin to realize the value that I bring when I show up in any given setting, that is when I'm like, hey, I need to raise the standard of where I am because I see I've noticed my value, and that is what started me on this community of, setting the bar, reaching for goals, which I'm thankful to God that I seeded when I first started. And I told God I will assist others, which is why I started Chanel Global Solutions. But going back to the question, when you realize the patterns, when you notice the things around you in every getting setting, in your family, in your community, and at work, that is when you see your place, what you were there to solve. Because it didn't happen just for a specific, you were born at that time and where you are to address an issue that is going on during that time. But you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to the patterns. You have to see and know who you are, know your gifting, know your strengths as well as your weakness, not just the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you can have balance. But I'm gonna cut it off there.
So I just want to say, every time I'm putting my hot glasses, you gave me a goosebumps, but from here up all the way to the top, thank you. That's amazing. And I love that you said to be aware. I love that. I love that. Because to be aware means that you are in the present moment. How beautiful. So my beautiful ones, I actually have met Brian on the steps of the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. in April this year. And we could not spend a lot of time together. We exchanged books. We stood there for the photograph to be taken. And then he was whisked away because you have only a certain amount of time to be able to do parking. And they were waiting for us. And we were a little bit, we were late. So unfortunately, I could not speak to Brian, but we got it to hug each other twice before in that. I think it was 20 minutes, Brian.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, 20 minutes. But my beautiful Brian, when I met you the first time, you let me feel like I'm home. You have this ability of letting people feel in my vicinity, you can just be you. And I love that about you. Even when we exchange two hugs, you give me the same sense of you home. So I just want to say thank you so much for letting me feel that way. And then may I ask you the same question? How does a sense of belonging impact your overall well-being and happiness, please?
Absolutely. And I really enjoyed the Library of Congress and meeting the team that was there that day. Hate we didn't get more time together. Well, I look at a sense of belonging in a couple of different ways. One, is learning to belong. You need to have knowledge. You need to learn kind of what you're trying to get into. Several of us have mentioned groups. We've talked about situations. We've talked about orientation. I think the key is building the knowledge. Do you have the knowledge, or do you need to get the knowledge to be part of what you want to belong to or what you want to be in? The second thing is, if you're part of a team or you're in charge of a team, are you empowered to grow? Are you empowered to lead? Are you empowered to follow? Or can you follow your heart? In other words, are you there and you're empowered to make a difference? It's not just a rootness piece of of life that you really want to be there, right? And the second thing is no matter where you fit, how are you networking in that group? How are you figuring out which people you want to be with or what people want to be with you? And how are you having correspondence or having conversation, just like we did on the steps of Library of Congress? We talked twice before we got there, and we like old friends showing up in Washington, D.C. for a hug and pictures and just a great event together. And then the last thing I'll say is whatever you're going to do as part of your belonging, do it to the fullest. And I always say, do it with tenacity, right? If you take on everything in life you do with a tenacity that you know you want to do it, then the success rate of you being there or being part of something or leading something for the good is going to happen. So I'm going to say it's knowledge, empowerment, networking, and tenacity. And those are key pieces, I think, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's a private group, a business, or just you as an individual taking on the world to do what you want to do.
Wow, I love it. Did you see you got the glasses as well? I love it.
I did.
So, Maureen, beautiful Maureen, your forever song is actually so brilliant for today's show. And I never heard that song of her before. Can you please tell us your song? And then when they hear it, they will know exactly what I mean. And then I will also ask you the same question. How does a sense of belonging impact your overall well being and happiness?
Absolutely. So my song is Champion by Carrie Underwood. You cannot possibly not feel good when you listen to that song and feel pumped about yourself. So I think it's a real self-worth booster. I love that Elena, your specialty and niche, because I kind of categorize my life as the before and the after. And the before was all the learning and the after is all the teaching. And so what's interesting is the lack of belonging during the learning phase was me chasing love, was me having to prove I was worthy, doing things for people, hoping to get something in return. All those things before to the after where I had this final awakening, thank you to my puppies, of realizing I had to unconditionally love myself to belong to the people that I want to belong to. And that's what changed was my view of who I wanted to belong with. So you can't surround yourself with a circle of toxic people and grow. It's impossible because you're
That's
just
right.
going to be pulled back down. They're all holding on to your clothes and pulling you backwards. And I think that was the difference with the belonging I seeked before I loved myself and the belonging that just came once I had all the self-worth and self-love that I finally understood. And so just to sum that up, I always use an acronym of a dog. So I'm just going to read this to you guys. So BARK this is a building self-confidence sort of exercise or a way to remember how to build your self-confidence in order to feel like I I don't need to be validated to belong. I will just be with the people I want to belong to, and they will be with me. So it's kind of this flow, I think. Think of an infinity sign. That's what I think of when I think of belonging. Think of that infinity. So belonging and self-love are never ending, right? Because you're going to belong to anything as long as your self-worth is as high as it can be. So BARK is my acronym, BARK, and it's believe in yourself, affirm your qualities, reflect, be willing to look inside at your thoughts, actions, and words. And K is knowing, follow your intuition. Thank you.
Your forever song. Oh, that's amazing. I love your forever song. I play it now on a regular basis. So thank you so much. And I love your acronym. And when you said to us, you when you know your worth, You don't need to belong to. You just are. I love it. I love it. My beautiful Julie, can you tell us how does a sense of belonging impact your overall well-being and happiness?
So I think of the sense of belonging very similar to connection and community. You know, community is really common unity, recognizing that we all have things in common, and that together brings us into unity. But I also like to think of belonging as, you know, we're all on a bit of our own hero's journey, right? You have the beginning, whatever, you know, we land into when we come into this world and whatever goes on, and then something terrible happens or a series, and then we go down and then we're out. You know, it's like we're cast out alone in the desert, searching, trying to find meaning, trying to find purpose, trying to find connection again, right? And this world focuses a lot on separation and disconnection, when all along, you know, just like some of the movies, and what is it? I, um, I'm thinking of the Wizard of Oz. You know, she has it within her the whole time, Dorothy. All she had to do was choose. There's no place like home, and that home is here in your heart. And everything that you love is right there in your heart. It's always there. You don't have to go searching out in the desert and out and every. You just have to search for it here and choose it. And so the sense of belonging, again, you connect within. And another quick analogy I like to think of is we are all like rays of the sun. You know, we're individuated and yet we're all energy, we're all connected, and we all come from the same source, and we all appear differently to different people. It's our relationships with each other. So of course we all belong because at the source we are all one. We're all connected. So just remembering that we are all connected.
Wow. I love it. I must just put it back on because I have goosebumps everywhere. My favorite, most favorite fairy tale is Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. And then I do have a fairy princess with a poofy dress, and her name is Bella from Beauty and the Beast. And that
Mhm.
is where all my Mrs. Spots. We've got Brian at the moment in the Diamond Beauty group. We've got 15 ladies that can be a host for a diamond tea party every day of the week. So we have three parties 5 times a week, and then it's we cover the 24 hours. So we've got ladies in New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Canada, and America, where you can go in for half an hour and you can be seen and you can be heard and just belong. So how incredible. So my beautiful Helena, I wanted to stop here with your forever song because I believe your forever song is the central part of everything. Can you please tell us what is your forever song? And then can you tell us how does a sense of belonging impact your overall well-being and happiness, please?
Absolutely. Thank you, Sanet. My song is The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston. And that for me says it all about belonging, especially. I feel from my heart and experience that belonging is the gift we give ourselves when our cup is full of love, full of acceptance, full of forgiveness, full of acknowledgement. When we are in the space where we can trust and surrender to the Spirit, to God, Source, and know that our belonging will unfold before us, that what we seek is seeking us, and we will be led on the path to where we belong. And this has been my journey of trust, of surrender, of knowing that I'm always divinely supported. And it's been very lonely, very difficult, often feeling like the black sheep in the family. And how it unfolded and has now truly abundantly just bubbled over with beautiful people like yourselves, with the Self Love Ignites Me team, and the support, the growth, the expansion, and how that lifts you up. We are lifted to where we belong with the support of each other. because alone we can only do so little, but together we can do so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just tell you, it was in a long time that I had to lift my glasses so many times in one show. And not all of the people get a glass. They don't get glasses all the time. I must just say, you are all here because you are all special to me. So now the next part I'm gonna go into, I'm gonna ask you how you're serving the world, and you can then mention also how what you are doing in your works capacity. And Maureen, I cannot wait for you to stop with the what you are doing for and looking into the dog's behavior, because that was quite an interesting thing. Us as a family had dogs all our lives. Our last dog died in December, and because we're not sure how long we will be here in South Africa, we decided not to have a dog at the moment. But when we settle down and when we do something else, we will definitely have that beautiful furry friend again, because yeah, like for almost all my life, I had a furry friend. So, my beautiful Chanel, can you please tell us how are you serving the world with love?
Wow. So, how am I serving the world with love? So, outside of the community things and things along that, what I started, as I alluded to before, is Chenille Global Solutions. When I realized what my value is, I wanted to assist others. Because if you've been paying attention to all of us on this panel, what we experience is not about us, but it's all about who our life is assigned to. We're stronger together. So what I did as a result, I created different resources by way of literature as well as courses for those who are starting their process to progress, and courses and to assist you. So if you do not know who you are and how to make your impact, I want to encourage you to be intentional in learning who you are. Which this is so, I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this, so stop me if I'm not, Sanat. But that's one of the things in collaboration with giving to the community, volunteering by way of, I've done things within the school, different things within the faith-based organization, in different programs, and just a variety of different things. So that's such an open question, but those are some of the things that I do
Wow,
to give back to the community.
I
And I
love.
want to say, I have to say this, I am not a social media expert, but I actually have experience working within the state, government, private, and community for all of the things that I've created. Because there's a difference, and I'm going to leave it right there.
Wow, I love it. So, Brian, I'm going to quickly step off camera because I want to go and collect your book. So, please tell us, how are you serving the world, my beautiful one?
Absolutely. Well, first, I started out at a young age in the military, and I did 20 years for the U.S. military. Since then, though, I've been out helping people with their business. So the R Factor, which Sanet's holding up, is actually a book, and it talks about relationship management and how you build your team. And I talk about how you build your team, but then kind of my tagline is there's nothing that you can't do. It's a play on my last name, but it's having the believing that you can do it, right? And that there's nothing that should get in your way if you take the appropriate time to do it. So, as part of my coaching and my writing, I teach teams or I teach individuals how to look at the structure, how to look at the foundation, how to look at the way they can scale, how to ask, do we have the right team? Do we have the right formation, right? Do we have the money we need? And then I just joined a board earlier this year, and it's called Alchemist Nation. And the founder's personal goal is he wants to personally develop 100 millionaires. And each one of those 100 has the task of developing 100. And it's not in sales of training programs. It's not in, it is helping them either in their business, in their real estate development, or in their networking, where they can grow their personal net worth to where we found that if you grow your personal net worth, you can give back to a lot of different causes that are that are near and dear to your heart. Like I have the Kent Family Foundation, where we help underprivileged children move into private schools if they're in schools that can't that probably where they're having challenges, whether they're having maybe mental challenges or they're having family challenges that they need some special attention. Anyway, with helping people grow themselves, they give back to the causes, just like people have talked about here, things that have bothered them. Now they're giving back to those causes. So I definitely, that's really how I want to give back. I want to personally develop people and companies to where they can be better members of society and contribute more. And I think I need to go bark a little bit.
You can what, say the last part again?
I said I need to go bark a little bit.
Exactly.
Right? I got to believe. Yeah, I got to believe, affirm, reflect, and know. Right?
I thought, what
Yes.
was the word you just mentioned? That was good. So, thank you, my beautiful Ken. I love it. I love your book as well. I love it. So, my beautiful Maureen and Julie, I'm going to just come back to you in a few seconds, but I wanted to give Helena the time now because Helena sponsored today's show as well. And I've got a video that I would love to play for her. So, my beautiful Helena, I'm going to play the video for you. Thank you for sponsoring me so many times on my show. Sometimes I didn't know how I'm going to do the payment to the network. And then here comes Helena and she sponsored me. And that was just the amount that I needed to pay to the network. So here's your video. And then you're going to tell us how you're serving the world. Here we go.
Hello, beautiful souls. This is Helena Georgiou, transformational speaker, relationship coach, and co-author of Breaking the Silence, Voice of Survivors. So exciting to introduce this new book, a collaboration of 21 co-authors, all experiencing their difficult journeys through trauma, through adversity, and giving guidance on how to overcome this negativity, the struggles, all through the power of resilience. So I welcome you to order your copy. Go to my website, helenabraveheart.com. Step into your Braveheart power today.
Thank you, my beautiful Helena. And that banner at the end will go into the magazine again this month to honor you, to say thank you so much. So please, can you tell us how are you serving the world, my beautiful one?
Yes, sure, absolutely. So since the publication of my book this year in January, the #1 bestseller on Amazon, life has just unfolded with amazing TV shows like this one we're doing tonight, the magazine Soul Diamond, and of course in between having been last year doing my first public speech in a major Woman of Truth and Integrative Health event here in Cyprus. This year, the group went, the community, to Dubai, and we did the similar talks on the publication of my book, the book signing through the Woman of Truth. And this is a global society community. And once again, meeting up with and networking with women globally in order to inspire and share my stories and help other women in similar situations to be able to reach out and know they're not alone and that there is hope, that at the end of the dark tunnel, there is always light. And most importantly, to reach out to somebody you trust, if not someone in your family or friend, then a professional is always advised. So I am now a Braveheart breakthrough expert, having done trauma and recovery practicing, a holistic therapist, herbalist, many years now, having run my own business, and come out now as a transformational speaker, publications in various magazines worldwide about courage, bravery, the truth, the power of truth, secrets, and how they affect us in both positive and negative ways. And I am now a chairperson here in Parforce as part of a community to help single mothers, what we call an NGO, where it's a nonprofit organization where we come together in different locations, different towns throughout the island, and help and reach out to single mothers with whatever area they might need support, whether with their children, with food, financially, with work, with health, with counseling, all coming from various ladies on the Women of Truth Committee. And it's important to be able to share and also inspire, but not only on media, but in groups like the Diamond Forever group, the beauty group, where we connect with other women and we share our stories, on groups where there are abuse, and the power of the voice and the importance of the voice. I also hold women's circles and do womb workshops to help women find their voice through the womb-heart voice connection, which is very important at this time, I feel, to help us who have been silenced for many years to be able to come out and use our voices now in whatever way is they are ready to.
Thank
So
you,
it brings me
Helena.
great joy to in this space to use my life experience in a positive way, coming from the wisdom and not from the wounds, to inspire and encourage.
Wow,
So thank
I love
you.
it. Thank you so much, my beautiful Helena. So, my beautiful Julie and Maureen, we've got 3 minutes. So let us see how we can get this in. My beautiful Julie, can you tell us how are you serving the world, my beautiful one?
Thank you so much. So I will be brief, but my mission is to get meditation taught in schools. And I do that through a very simple, it's more or less a 3-step process that I developed in working with my daughter during COVID. It takes less than 10 minutes. And it's basically focusing on breathing, positive talk, gratitude, connecting with gratitude to set yourself up for a can-do and confident day. So I do this for adults, but most especially for parents and educators who want to implement this and start the habit of getting kids to learn these powerful tools so they can learn self-regulation. And this will help them throughout the rest of their lives. And it's the way we're going to change the world. But I also got inspired to write my first children's book. Which would you choose? It's on Amazon. It got published back in March. And I wrote this again with my daughter. It uses scenarios to teach emotional intelligence. So you have positive thoughts, negative thoughts. It's all scenario based. And then in the end, you choose which way do you want to do it, the hard way or the more fun way, right? And there's brave thinking tools in there for how to switch that mindset. But I also offer a monthly free success masterclass. It's actually called Brave Being. Brave Being. And how do we do this? Through brave thinking, brave feeling, and brave doing. So you'll walk away with 3 tools for how to create a successful life, or 3 keys for successful and creating an extraordinary life. Achieving success. Yes. So I'd love to see everybody there. And again, thank you for this opportunity today.
Thank you. So beautiful Julie will come and inspire us quite a few times the following month. And then in September, her banner will be in the magazine. So please check it out. So thank you, my beautiful Julie. You are also coming to inspire us on our live Zoom circle. Maureen, how are you serving the world, my beautiful one?
So I have coffee talk with you, Sanet. You called me something that I've used on over, probably 50 interviews that I've done. You called me a human amplifier. And I do believe that is my mission, is to create a safe space for people, whether no matter what gender, race, age, or sexual preference you have, you are welcome in my space. There's never anything wrong with you. There's only everything right with you. It's for me is let's figure out what's working for you and we'll tweak what's not working. I feel such a synchronicity with all of these panelists. I mean, I love how honestly the universe just puts you in a place that you know you're supposed to be. Build it and they will come. And Sunny, you built it and we came. And so I have a podcast called I Never Knew, but My Dog Did. Of course, everything is dog related. And my books, My Dog is More Enlightened Than I Am, as well as My Dog is My Relationship couples coaching, and I do dating coaching as well to help you learn how to do what I did that, or to not do what I did in my past. But also, just like Julie, I also published a children's book. And my children's book, My Dog Bexley is Just Like Me, teaches mindfulness to children and teaches them that emotions are good and okay to feel. So I'm at Life Coach Maureen. I will give list
She
to
will
my
go.
manual that I will give to you, lifecoachmaureen.com.
Oh, wow. I loved
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you so much, my beautiful Maureen. So, Maureen, you and my beautiful Julie are coming back in September when I'm doing the 2 hour special summit for children. You both are coming back, so I'm truly excited. So, my viewers, did you love the show? I have a permanent smile because my guests have just overwhelmed me with their love and their wisdom, and they share their heart to all of to me and to you. So we wanted to do the golden nuggets because all of my guests have given us golden nuggets. It's part of the opening video, but we will not have the time to do that. So what I will ask my guests to, where the recording is, we will go and copy your golden nuggets on them. And then for the viewers out there, you will not, if you don't go to my YouTube channel, Self Love Ignites Me, you will not be able to pick it up. But I've got something for you. If you take your remote, just give me 1 second. If you take your remote and you rewind back, you will be able to see all my guests' golden nuggets in the opening video underneath their beautiful picture. So I want to say, my guests, thank you for inspiring us today. I've got a question for all of you. My beautiful Chanel, Brian, Maureen, Julie, and Helena, will you have a dance with me?
Yay! Woohoo! Of course.
My
Yay!
beautiful
Let's
viewers,
go.
will you have a dance with us? They said yes. They said yes. Here
Wow!
we go.
Yay!
Bravo.
Here we go.
Walking on sunshine or dancing in the rain. Sprinkle me with fairy dust so I can fly away. Smiling at a moonbeam or squinting in the sun. Sprinkle me with fairy dust and cover me with love. From butterflies to eagles.
Bye bye, everyone.